Today's lesson will be about factoring trinomials where a is not equal to 1. There's some complicated ways to do it, and there's some easy ways to do it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the complicated way so you understand just how easy it can be. There's a few things we need to remember before we get started. The standard form of a trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c equals y, and when we're solving we would make that equal to 0. Remember that there are 4 cases when we are factoring trinomials. The first case, we have a plus and a plus. When we factor it in our binomials, we get a plus and a plus. The second case, we have a minus and a plus. In order to get that, we have to have a minus and a minus in the binomial. When we multiply the negative 2 times x and the negative 3 times this x, they add to give us the negative 5x. When we multiply negative 2 times negative 3, we get plus 6. The third case, we have a plus on our linear term and we have a negative on the constant. We have to have a positive and a negative. And the positive will have to be the larger number. 6 times x gives us 6x. Negative 1 times x is minus x. 6x minus x gives us positive 5x. And then 6 times negative 1 gives us minus 6. The fourth case, we have a negative on the linear term and a negative on the constant. Then our term, we're going to have a negative and a positive again, but this time, notice they're the same as up here, but we've switched the signs because this time we need to have minus 6x plus x to give us the negative 5x. And we still have to have a negative and positive to multiply to get the negative 6. In our accelerated geometry book, we have an example of 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. Now the first thing they tell you to do is to guess and check. So they want you to just come up with some factors and guess which ones are going to work. What we have typically done is a t-chart. And what we normally do is multiply a times c, but in this case the book wants you to factor a and c separately. So we have a here, which is 2, c here, which is 12, and then we have b, which is 11. So factors of a would be 1 and 2. Factors of c would be 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. Now, they're going to tell you to take and multiply the inner and the outer. So we'll multiply, we'd have to go all the way down here, and then we have to change them around. So they want you to multiply the 2 times the 1 and the 1 times the 12, and that will give you 2 times 1 and then plus 1 times 12, which is 14, so that clearly is the wrong answer. They want you to keep going until you get done and find the right answer. So let's find a shorter method to do this. If we go ahead and use our typical t-chart that we're used to using when a is equal to 1, we have 24 because of the 2 times 12. We have 11. We can find some factors. Let's say 6 and 4, I know. Well, 6 and 4 is 10. That's not quite going to do it. Let's see, we have 8 and 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. There's our factors right there that we want. So we have x plus 8 and x plus 3. Now clearly, if I multiply these back out using my distribution, I'm not going to get 2x squared, so I have to do something else. So what I need to do is I need to take a, which is 2 right here, and divide both of my numbers by a. Then I'm going to reduce the fractions. This one reduces to 4. This one, 3 over 2, does not reduce. What I'm going to do then is take my 2 and bring it up and around in front of the x. My factors are x plus 4 times 2x plus 3. And now my trinomial is factored, and my factors are in the correct order every single time. I don't have to try multiple methods in order to figure out how to get it right. Let's try one more example. So let's do 6x squared plus 17x plus 5. Again, let's go ahead and just multiply a times c, and we get 30. Our b is 17. Well, I know 6 and 5 would work to multiply, but that only adds to 11. So let's try maybe 3 and 10. Well, that gives me 13, so that's not quite going to do it either. How about 15 and 2? 15 and 2 is 17, and that's the one I'm looking for. So I'm going to take x plus 15 times x plus 2. And then remember, I have to divide the numbers by a, which is 6, and then I'm going to reduce them if I can. Well, I can reduce 15 and 6 because 3 goes into both of those. So 3 goes into 6 twice, 3 goes into 15 5 times, and here I have 2 is going to go into 6 evenly, so that's going to be 1 on top, 3 there. This is going to come around in front of this x. The 2 is going to come around in front of this x. So I have 2x plus 5 times 3x plus 1, and I'm done with factoring it. This method is called bottoms up. Spread the word, it's much easier.